Hi guys, Lindsay here with Storybook Family Farm. So I actually wanted to make a video talking about the farmers markets. Um, to basically, because a lot of people have asked me like which farmers market do I like the best? What ones are the most profitable for us? And for us, it's really hard to answer that because we're still very new to this whole being a vendor thing. So it is kind of a loaded question, kind of complicated actually. Um, but I would have to say that the Canton Farmers Market is probably our favorite, simply because, well, it's the first one we did. Like last year, was the only one that we ever did. It's actually the market that caused us to become vendors and become who we are. Um, so for those of you that don't know, when I signed up to do the farmers market last year, we still lived in town. I was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna sell our house. We're gonna live in this camper for like a month or two, and stuff. And then we'll find our place, and we'll do the farmers market. We'll just everything will be perfect. Okay, so that obviously, if you've been with us for any length of time, you know that that did not happen so well. Um, you know, we sold our house, moved into the camper on Tracy's parents' land, and then started the farmers market. We had planted a big garden at her parents' house, and pretty much every catastrophe that could happen in a garden happened. To the point that we had pretty much nothing that was going to be ready for the farmers market, and we were signed up to be produce vendors. So I fell back on my bread. I had never sold a single loaf of bread before in my life until last year. Um, Only a couple people had actually ever tried it besides our family, like besides my immediate family, and it was just pretty much extended family. I don't even think I had any friends that had tried it yet, so it was crazy, huge, scary thing to do. Okay, but it was done out of necessity. So then, through that necessity of not having anything else to sell except for the bread that I make, and some berry plants and things of that nature, um, it really showed me just how much I like making the bread and how profitable it can be. Um, it's kind of like having that favorite teacher that, wasn't necessarily your favorite because they were the most fun or they taught the most engaging class. They were the ones that impacted your life the most. And for me, that is the Canton Farmers Market. So I would probably always end up doing that unless if, the whole city of Canton explodes or something ridiculous and, there's no longer a Canton Farmers Market, or the people that run it decide not to do it. But I don't think that's going to happen. At least I hope not. If it does, then I'm gonna be sad. But anyways, so that market taught us so stinking much about ourselves and about our product and about our farm and about our business and how to move forward and how to make things work. So fast forward to this year. This year, the Canton Farmers Market is actually our third market to be in this year. So we started doing a market down in Jewett, Ohio, which is a bit of a drive for us. It is, I think, 30 miles, but for us now, where we're living now, it is, I think, like 20-ish, a little over 20 miles for us to go to the Canton Farmers Market. So then to go to the North Canton Farmers Market that we're also a part of now, it's also close to 30 miles. So, I mean, the Jewett one really isn't that much further. It's just, taking country roads instead of taking the freeway. So it's, a bit different to get there. So yeah, but so it's kind of funny that now, like, we've come full circle, and tomorrow is actually the start of the Canton Farmers Market, and like just how far everything has changed. Like last year, I was so nervous and so scared, like going into doing the whole market thing, that like I almost didn't even do it. Like I'm the type of person that when something new is starting, like the first day on a job or the first thing, like sometimes I get so filled with anxiety that like I'm like, nope, I'm just gonna quit. I'm just nope, not gonna do it. Even when I know inside that I have to do it, I get so scared. And that's one thing that Tracy's really fantastic about, because she's like, let's just go for it. So she's really good at like encouraging and pushing me forward and stuff to do things that I've already set out to start doing, but then at the last minute I get really scared to do. It's kind of amazing that we actually ended up getting married because Tracy was super nervous and I was super nervous and stuff, and we were both like terrified, but yeah, ended up being fine. Obviously, we're married, so nobody ran away. Plus, we had to go to New York back then because back then it wasn't legal in Ohio, so it would be kind of an awkward car ride home if one of us would have got cold feet. But anyways, so that market taught us so stinking much about ourselves and about our product and about our farm and about our business and how to move forward and how to make things work. So then, through that necessity of not having anything else to sell except for the bread that I make, and some some berry plants and things of that nature, it really showed me just how much I like making the bread and how Now, like looking forward to where we're at now and looking back to where we were just a year ago of starting the Canton market, like last year we were still living in a camper. Now we own our own place. Like this place, obviously, if you've been with us for any length of time, you know that it is a big fixer upper. But we set out on this journey to be able to buy something debt free with selling our house and making ourselves very uncomfortable for a while and stuff. And by golly, we did it. Like, we did it and stuff. And now we're like going back to the Canton Farmers Market, seeing people that we sold bread to, and a lot of them didn't even know that we lived in a camper. Like, I don't know why, but we were like so embarrassed by that and thought that like nobody would want to buy our stuff if they knew like how big of a radical life change we just made and stuff. We were like, oh, people will think we're weird and we're gross and we're creepy and blah, blah, blah. Some of the people they found out and they didn't even care. Some people after like the market was over and I actually started doing like the Facebook farm page and then also now YouTube and all that stuff, they're like, oh my god, like we didn't even know and stuff. So it's kind of funny that like people still liked our bread and they didn't even know how big of a struggle it was for me to cook, only be able to bake 2 loaves at a time in that little teeny tiny camper oven. And now I actually was just baking bread and I had like 12 full-size loaves in the oven at one time. And I'm just like, oh my god, like this year, like we feel so elated and so unstoppable because of the fact of just something as simple as having a normal kitchen that isn't like microscopic, and that has an actual oven and a sink with running water and like just all of these different things are just like fill us with so much gratitude that now like going back to Canton and being like, yeah, you guys were rooting for me when I was just like this little teeny tiny like caterpillar and now I feel like a full blown like butterfly, just like look at us, like look what we've become and stuff. So it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Like I was thinking about all this while I was baking the bread and stuff, and I just like when I start baking bread, I get deep into my thoughts and deep into my emotions and stuff because it's it's a repetitive thing. That's just what happens to me when I do something repetitive like painting. I love to paint houses, the inside of houses, because it's just so repetitive and stuff, and I feel zen and at one with myself. Um, Especially like trim painting. I love to trim paint houses. I'm weird, I know, but yeah. So it's just baking the bread is the same thing for me. It really is soothing to my soul, and that doing something that soothes my soul so much is what's actually creating an income for us to live off of. It feels beautiful, honestly. Like it's scary that we're solely relying on the bread and our produce and plants and things to make our income while living here right now. But it's really a beautiful thing that everything that we've set out to do has come full circle now and stuff. And it's like a total year in review because this time last year I was like sweating bullets and panicking and like little kid scared and stuff. And because I felt like I was face planting, and now I feel like I'm flying. So it's just it's kind of a neat transition, that you can grow so much in just a year of just falling face first into something and letting fate and destiny kind of carry you through, and just relying on hope. um, so yeah, so I had posted on our Facebook page about that Canton was my favorite, and I figured that I would just explain why and why this year feels so different for us, and just how big of a massive transformation this past year has just been. Nothing short of just transformation after transformation after transformation and growth and stuff. And it's very exciting to see how our farm and our business is going to evolve as this year goes on, and that then next year I'll be able to look at everything that we've accomplished in this past year of having land that's our own, and a little tiny barn that is our own, and a garden that is a permanent place to grow in and stuff. And like we just got our orchard planted this past week. It's not complete, but the starts of it are all planted, and our berry bushes that we moved from our house in town, they all are in the ground here now. And it feels so good inside to just be settled in and to know that this is home. Like there's so much work we have to do still, but doing the simple things of establishing that this is a place of permanence is just it feels really good when, for, you know, the past few years, because the whole time we lived in town, neither of us felt like it was home. Like, we felt like we were stuck there for a certain determined period of time, and that one day we'd be freed. So even when we were planting fruit trees and things, we were like, like, we're not even gonna get to harvest this stuff. Like, but let's just do it so that way we can learn, and, you know, on the off chance that we're here long enough to harvest, we'll get to harvest. But here it feels different. So, like, we planted asparagus in the garden, and that's something that we won't be able to harvest till next year. We planted, you know, fruit trees and berry bushes that probably not going to be able to harvest the fruit trees for a couple of years. We invested in bees over there that we're not going to get honey from until next year. Like, we're able to do all of these long-term investments now because we feel so safe and secure here. And it's a beautiful thing. Honestly, it's just absolutely beautiful. But it's starting to get dark. I know that on camera it definitely does not look like it. It's actually almost 9 o'clock at night. It's so weird and trippy how the camera like distorts lighting and different things. It's definitely something I still need to get used to. But yeah, so I'm gonna end this here because I'm losing a lot of daylight hours and I am tired and I want to go inside because I've been baking bread all day. So yeah. All right. If you guys are enjoying this content, please give this video a thumbs up, share it on your social media, and also don't forget to subscribe to really help us grow. And then also you'll get notified whenever we post a new video, so that way you guys are not out of the loop. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.